G'day guys, welcome back to True Footy Live. How's everyone? Hello, AFL Time 23, welcome. Sorry I'm a little late. I was rushing to get my morning coffee. I feel like I say the same thing every time. But it's the BBL final today, so I thought we'd tune in for the last cricket stream of the summer before we get back into the footy stuff. Oh God, not footy. Where are we at? There we go. Hope everyone is well. I am still actually trying to fire K up. I'm having some issues. Oh, now I've progressed to a screen that I couldn't before. Sometimes it's hard to do these things overseas. Pat Kaz, he lives, said I do. G'day Lily. G'day Mitchy Buttsworth. Good to have you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Sixers in the Heat, hey? Who's a favourite here? Oh, looks like we got a wicket already. Who's a favourite? The Heat have been red hot, but the Sixers have been good too. The Heat just trounced Adelaide, really, and Adelaide trounced Perth, so I was feeling... I don't know, it's hard to pick this one. Not that I know. Not that I'm an expert. Maybe the Sixers, but early. Oh, that's good to hear, Rogie. It is a dirty mo. It's back in full action. 1 for 5. Although it says 1 for 5 off the first over. Take that. Oh, Lily's coming thick and fast with the divisive questions that could get me cancelled. I wasn't aware of them selling Australia Day merchandise. It's a tough one. I don't know how to answer this. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything really wrong with selling it as a retailer. You can probably make your own judgments about who buys it as a consumer, but I mean, it is still Australia Day, whether you like it or not. Should we move the date? I don't really mind. If people think we should change it, I don't have a problem with that. God, imagine getting cancelled like 30 seconds into a live stream. Mitchy's feeling the Sixers. That's true, it's their home ground advantage, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Sixers. Brown, is he the one that just hit that 140? I think it is, eh? Who was that? I'll try and get it up on the screen, yeah. Woolworths doesn't actually care. It's just a PR move. Oh, they're not selling Australia Day merchandise. Sorry, I misread that. The entire pretext of that question. I missed. My bad. I thought you were suggesting that they were selling it and they were getting it heat, which surprised me. I was like, I didn't know we're at the point where it was taboo to sell it. Look, fair enough. I don't know. My thoughts are like, I don't know if that many people are against it. Let's just like change it and not have it become a day that divides us and creates so much hate. It's kind of about as deep as I think. You're taking me to Twitter, Rogie. You know what? I could use some clicks, Rogie, so do it. Cancel me. I'll come back bigger than ever. G'day, Unbranded. Oh, you cat's in the chat. Welcome, mate. Good to have you. The tables are turned. Normally it's me and you, Aston Villa manager mode streams. I think Australia cricket players who are afraid to speak out to support January 26. Yeah. I mean, is Woolworths from South Africa? I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, as a cricketer, I wouldn't really want the responsibility of having to comment on that. Like, you could see how much I bristled just being asked that on my live stream with 8 people in it. Not that there's anything wrong with you asking me that. I just mean it's such a tricky one. You're gonna piss off somebody, right? That would do me some good, Mitchy. Probably get a few subscribers. I do have an older audience as well, which might serve me well here. I don't know. Let's move on. Yeah, 140 off 57. I didn't catch the game yesterday. That's insane. I'm not that old, you cat. I don't say wokeness gone mad. G'day, superhero risers. Welcome back to the chat. Good to have you. SCG looking pretty attractive. Lots of pink around. Tommy said so many streaming this. Did they? I didn't even notice. I haven't really looked at any devices today. I'm here in the UK, so I just got up and got a coffee. I wasn't aware who else is doing this. G'day, Darth Jar Jar. Good to have you, mate. Yeah, I agree, Rogie. It's if that many people are against it, um, I suppose it is quite topical, isn't it? Isn't it tomorrow? I suppose it's probably fair to talk about a little. I feel so out of touch with Australia. Yeah, I mean, if this many people hate it, I honestly think just change it. I don't really care. I think a lot of people are getting stuck into the principle side of it. I mean, I suppose the counter argument is like, I don't really know. Is January 26th itself a bad date? But at this point, it's kind of more what it represents. So I think just whatever. Rogie didn't even have an idea this game was on today. So this is me growing cricket as a platform, as a product, Rogie, keeping it relevant. But yeah, to be honest, I've withdrawn a little bit from the BBL. I kind of just do it for the streams now because they're good fun. But in terms of like watching games that Perth's not playing, I've stopped doing that. Except for the final. UCAT says Costa internationally was absolute puke. So I will say that I have low standards for coffee. I was drinking Greg's coffee up until a few weeks ago. I don't think it's too bad, UCAT. I think Australia is known for having good coffee. America is pretty bad. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I can go spend $6 on a coffee there and it will taste like instant. It's just like hot water. Hot bitter water. This particular coffee doesn't taste good. But Costa in general, I think, has certainly been okay. But it's not like nice, but I wouldn't say it's puke. If they were going to change it, they would have done so already. Yeah, probably. I don't know what that... but, excuse me. Yeah, true. I haven't really done anything for Australia Day for ages. Like, even when I lived in Australia. I think I used to work it a lot. I used to work a lot of public holidays. Oh, true. Day night test match tomorrow. That's cool. Hansi's in the chat. Costa is meh. Starbucks is just yeah. Really? What do you like? Then. I don't know. I've got pretty low standards when it comes to coffee. West Coast should get Paul Roos as the next coach. Is he? What's he up to these days? I genuinely have lost track of that. I remember we were talking about him potentially coaching us in 2014 when Wisher stepped down. Obviously, we were with Simo. I would love Paul Roos, but I would probably rather Simo keeps his job because that means we haven't failed. If he's sacked next year, then it means we've had a terrible season again. What was I going to say? I was thinking this, if Simo does have a successful stint, like, it's possible Shuey could be the next coach. That's crazy. Like, give it 5-6 years, if Simo coaches us that long, Shuey could be the man. That being said, now I said that out loud, I remember he said he didn't really want to be senior coach. But I will make him senior coach. When I feel like a 12-year-old female. I could so take that out of context. A frappuccino from Starbucks. Yeah, I've never really delved into the... I don't really do iced coffees either. Like in the middle of summer, I'll still be having a hot coffee. I don't know why. Get Daisy Pierce to... Come on, man. We'll be alright. We'll be alright. Yeah, but he could still coach that way, you get. Yeah, very true. Oh, some good bowling here. Abbott's had a good over. Coffee is gross, that's right. That's right, you said that last time, Reggie. Should Nick Nat be West Coast ruck coach? I kind of assumed he was, but I believe he's not. I think he was while he was playing. He was like playing coach. I just don't know who the ruck coach is. I'm still waking up, to be fair, but I don't know who that is. Should he be, though? Yeah, I would have thought he was the most logical option. I don't even know who else is, like, a candidate to be ruck coach. Ice vanilla lattes. Ugh. I don't do vanilla coffee. Thanks, Basil, is firing shots at Rogie for his hot chocolates. Danny Laidley could replace Adam Simpson. Yeah, I wonder if we'll see Danny Laidley coach AFL men's. I know they're talking about AFLW at the moment, right? It would make sense. It would make sense to have Danny Laidley coach of the Eagles just because she used to play for us when she was Dean. Yeah. That being said, she didn't really have the most successful AFL coaching career, so I wouldn't be hanging out for it. She wasn't bad. But, yeah. Ruck coach is the ruckman from the 94 Premiership. Laurie Keane? Laurie Keane, Jason Ball? Jason Ball played in 94, I think. Is it Laurie Keane or... It's getting pretty old now. I gladly order from the kids menu. I hope you mean kids food. G'day, Oliver Bartel. Welcome. What's the pass score? That's a great question. I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because I haven't heard them say anything about pitch quality. Because to be honest, I've been watching the stream much more than I've been watching the game so far. I'll see if I can find any info about what the pitch is like. Ugh. Tell you what though, they're bowling well. It's either the pitch or just good bowling. They usually give some insight on Crick Info. So you could have two father sons. Who are they again? I don't recall. Somebody said that the pitch will suit the Sydney Sixers, but I'm not too sure why. I swear to God, KO. Literally, every time there's something about to happen, it goes into static. This happens way too often. It's seeming a fair bit, that's very true. Boston Everett and Elwood Peckett. Wow, those are serious... You could have just told me 4 surnames. So, was it Peter Everett that played for... Did he play enough for the Saints? Is that who that is? And Peckett. Was it... I know, I can picture Peckett in my mind. Is it Stephen Peckett? I can picture him in my mind. So I do know both of those players. David Hines. Right. See, that's funny. I didn't even know David Hines was a ruckman. Before my time. But I did know who Laurie Keane was. Who am I going for? Asked Darcy. That's a good question. Um, maybe the Heat. I don't know. I find myself kind of just like wanting to see good cricket. And so far, the Sixers have produced on that front. The bowling's been really good. I think it'll swing based on who's the underdog. Justin Peckett. Thank you, Lily. I couldn't remember his first name, but I remember his I remember his face because that was my era. So I call it the sort of the back end of that era. I don't imagine you did too, because we are the same age. Luke Quaynor. Yeah, right, of course. I knew that he existed. I feel like his name came up in the last stream. Luke Quaynor. Um, that being said, I did forget about the NGA rules. And we've got someone called Malachi Champion who, again, is probably going to be too good to actually pick up. Oh my god. 1 for 16 off 4. Yeah, I wonder what will happen with the NGA rules. They're not going to change it this year. That's a great shot. Brown. Great shot. Absolutely clapped that into the stands. Yeah, so 2025 draft, they might change the NGA rules. They're not going to do it this year. Got no idea how good he is. Yeah. Yeah, me neither, to be honest. I did a video like talking about the brief snapshot of the 2024 draft, but obviously there's been no football since then. And I just don't know that much yet. Gillian or Gillian? Wakelin. Is that AFLW? I know that sounds like a silly question, but that could be Gillian, which would be father-daughter. Or is it Gillian as Daryl Wakelin's son, I presume? I didn't know that. I was aware of... I think there's another Burgoyne and there's certainly a Montgomery report. Wow, what is with all the father-sons, man? It just feels like the rate of father-sons is just blown up. For everyone except West Coast. And other clubs too, but... AFL man. Yeah, thanks, Lily. Carpair says, can't wait for the six. Oh, yeah, Sixers. I thought you said Stars for a second. Well, Browns just hit a few good shots this over. They're going to dropping Brown, yeah. He's seen them. Like beach balls. Oh, Mick McGuan. I remember him. Yeah, he was around that like 02, 03, like grand final teams, I want to say. What happened to Mainwaring's son? Yeah, I don't know. I suppose they just ultimately didn't pick him. Which is the exact answer you were looking for, I'm sure. Nah. I don't know if he's really ever been massively in the frame for getting picked up. Like, I don't know. I do remember hearing, like, yeah, it'd be nice to have him play for our Waffle Eagles, but the Waffle Eagles were such a shambles, so I can understand why he would rather play for Claremont. Highly read the best number 9 ever play for the Eagles. Yes. You must really rate him. You'd hope so, Mitch. You'd hope they do the opposite. I wonder if they'll play footy anyway. Bobby Cousins. Does he have a second son? He might do. But how old's Bobby Cousins now? I want to say he must be about 12 or 13. Maybe a bit older than that. Cameron Green not playing because of COVID. Interesting. Rogue Wright says he's a 1990 premiership player. Oh. I might be mixing him up with someone then. I could have sworn he was around about in 2002. He would have been 35 in 2002, so maybe I'm mixing him up with somebody. Yeah, no, he well and truly stopped playing by then. I do know the name Mick McGowan, but it must be through like media or something like that. Wait, he's not from WA, is he? Nah, he's not. That's another guy I'm mixing him up with. Mick Malloy. That's who I'm mixing him up with. Who is not from WA, but he was the one in that era. How was watching the Scorchers get bungled out at your home ground? Weird. I was anticlimactic. But you know what? I think it really reveals how little I care about the Scorchers when that happened, because I was just like, yeah. So I didn't really care that much, to be completely honest with you. We should just get rid of the waffle teams as Darth. I don't know. I think it's been annihilated the last couple of years because of injuries. Like, we've had like 3 AFL listed players max. So it's just been an amateur team. We're never going to get anywhere if we don't fix the injuries anyway. Smith at 4 and Renshaw will open then. Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah, Smith didn't do too much, did he? Oh, he got out cheaply in the first, did he? And I think he was not out for not much in the second, I think. Also writes for the Herald. That's probably exactly where I've seen his name, Rogie. But it's Malloy, definitely who I was thinking of. I'm sure he played in the 0203 team. Hey man, at least your team makes the final. Stars have been horrendous. Yeah. Mind you, they had a bit of a resurgence this year, the Stars, when they were tipped to not do anything. And they ultimately didn't do anything, but they didn't finish last. I'm just going to change my water bottle. I drink a lot of water. Mick Malloy playing AFL. Which one is he in front bar? Mick Malloy. I'm definitely mixing up with someone. I'm going to look up Collingwood's 2002 team because I've got someone in my head. And I probably have just misrepresented who he is. Oh, fuck, that's Mick Malloy. I am struggling. I'm sure it's Malloy. Jared Malloy, thank you, Packers. Wow, what is wrong with me? That's an absolute shamble. Of course, that's McLoy. I was like, what? I'm out of touch. I haven't seen the front bar in a year. Yeah, it is the Richmond guy from the front bar. What the hell? Jared Malloy is 100% who I was thinking about. So we thought of. I went from Mick McGowan to Jared Malloy, with Mick Malloy as an intermediary. That's bans. That's terrible by me. I am drinking coffee, Lily, by the way, to answer your question. I didn't sleep very much. Probably got like 4 hours. It always seems to coincide with the stream. The stream I get up at 7 for, which is probably about an hour and a half earlier than I do every other day. Which is not a whole heap, but it seems to coincide with me not being able to sleep every time. I guess I'm just so excited. After that performance, we're going to time to head over the channel. Yeah, honestly, I've done worse. I've probably had bigger mares. Mind you, I can't think of any. That was weird. Oh, Graz, you have Freo on the top 4. I wouldn't have seen that coming. Brisbane, Collingwood, Melbourne, Freo. So just poured out for Freo. Is Australia better than British coffee? Honestly, I don't really think there's too much of a difference. Other people will disagree. I don't really have a trained palate in that sense. However, it is more expensive. Like you go to London and it's like $8 for a coffee. Even here, it's more expensive to get a coffee than a pint. Ridiculous. Everyone, when I said, oh no, I'm not thinking of Mick McGowan, I'm thinking of Mick Malloy, the Collingwood player, everyone must have been just like, what? And you would have been right. Port 12th, Graz. So you just switched Freo for Port. In fact, no, Freo didn't even finish 12th, they finished like 14th. Sorry to rub that in your face, but... At least they didn't mix the Dacos brothers. Yeah, I think they're quite clearly different. Nakos and Jacos. Oh, that is a great catch. That caught and bowled they're showing. That would have hurt, surely. Yeah, I would love a father-son for West Coast. We haven't really had, well, certainly none be a star. I mean, since Cuz. Before they sort of refined the father-son rule. Jake Waterman's the best father-son other than that. Like the first legitimate, or the best legitimate father-son that I can think of we've had. Other than that, it's like Jacob Brennan and Alec Waterman. And that might be it. Like, for in terms of their father actually played 150 games for West Coast. Well, 100 games, isn't it? Peter Masitira's son was going to get drafted. Well, they were talking about him from when he was 15 and then he didn't get drafted at all. Pat Kaz says Josh is better than Nick. Interesting, Magpies. I got Sydney well and truly as up 4. Maybe not well and truly, but they will be. Graz says Fife will be back to his best and top 3 in the Brownlow. What? Amos and Deline 120 goals. If Amos and Deline combine for 120 goals, I'm going to delete my channel. Half of the goals on Jeremy McGovern. Okay, I realised you were joking when you said that. I should have read the whole thing. Does Daniel Kerr have a son? I actually don't know the answer to that. I don't know about Chick either, but Wirapunda does. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he does. And I don't know. I want to say Marley is his first name, but I actually don't know. Oh, the AFL Father Sons coming up would be a great video. I'm going to do that. It's going to be hard to find an all-encompassing list of teenage football sons. Darcy the Bot says Finn for the Brownlow. That's a prediction you can set your watch to. Surely one of those guys produces son. Yeah, I feel like... Does Barras have 2 boys? I feel like Darling's got at least 1 boy. Shuey's got a boy. Nick Nat's got 2 boys, I think. So this generation's doing a lot better of producing kids. In 15 years. How many sons does Pav have? Wanganeen Miller for top 10 in the Brownlow. That's a huge call, Lily. It'd be a good effort for a defender to do that. Dean Cox is at Sydney. Magpies, man. I think he's been there like as basically 2IC to Longmire for a little while now. He's been at Sydney for God knows how long. Like 8 years, if I had to guess. Maybe a little bit less than that. Ember's son. I wasn't even aware of Ember's son. I don't think we have any like coming up that are like on the radar for getting drafted. Kemp had a son, and I think if I'm thinking of the right Kemp, like Jed Kemp, I think that's him. I think he played for our Waffle Eagles. Just add son. G'day, Riley Farmer. Biggest call is Port Adelaide going to make the AFL Grand Final. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. I don't think that's too crazy. I would like to see a interstate Grand Final. It's been like 18 years. And on her 18th birthday, you found out it wasn't his. That sucked. Yeah, I don't know, like a Sydney Port Grand Final or a Brisbane Port Grand Final would be cool. That would be a 20-year anniversary as well. That'd be weird if it was like Brisbane Collingwood 03, Brisbane Port 04, and they did the same thing 20 years later. Brown keeps playing that flick shot. Yeah, that one was fairly well timed. Not middled, I don't think, completely. Juddy's boys, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how many of these guys will actually be footballers. Juddy's kids. That'd be crazy. I think, is it Oscar Judd is a West Coast fan? But I think that'll change once he gets to like 18. He'll probably be like, nah, I'd rather play in Melbourne. One thing that was kind of nice is that when Judd retired, we sort of were able to accept him as the Eagles legend again. I feel like Eagles fans kind of just turned their back on Judd when he played for Carlton. We're like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, he's better with us, blah, blah, blah. But then once he retired, we would be like, yeah, former Eagles legend is going to come and do a conference with us. And I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. Actually, we can celebrate him again. 6 players kicking 25 plus. I don't know off the top of my head how often that happens. I genuinely don't know. I don't think it's too wild. Provided that the top scorer probably my check probably only kicks like 40. That way there's enough goals to go around. Make it 30. Okay, if it's 30, then I probably would disagree. That's a lot of players over 30. I feel that way about Dale Thomas. Yeah, true. Kind of almost forgot Dale Thomas played for another club. That's another video I want to do. AFL players you forgot played for other clubs. I kind of forget about Dale Thomas at Carlton a little bit because that was such a forgettable era for Carlton. That Mick Malthouse era. Even the fact that Malthouse was Carlton coach is forgettable. Yeah, Judd was better at West Coast Darth. Definitely. Cousins better off field. Kerno for Coleman again. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I feel like his biggest threat is actually Jeremy Cameron, but that depends on Geelong and his own body. I think Jeremy Cameron's still a shot this year, eh? Still a stupidly good player. He's short at GWS. Kicked out the 2019 granny, did he? Wait, what? Watched a replay versus the West Coast versus Carlton a few days ago. Oh, right, yeah. Was that the game? I think it was the game we came back from 44 points down, eh? Larky's a chance, definitely, for Coleman. Darth. Absolutely. Probably wouldn't be my first bet, but just because I think there are better people to bet on, i.e. Curnow and Cameron, but yeah. But of course he can win it, yeah, if North get better as well. Sam Ryan, Mitch Lewis is not a bad shout. Yeah, again, I think it would depend a little bit on Hawthorn. I don't think Hawthorn would need to play finals for Coleman to him to win the Coleman, but you'd probably look at 11th or 10th or better, and that's possible. Brown is teeing off right now. This game has really switched 4 overs in. The Sixers were all over him, and now this guy's just exploded. Kane Corns and Nathan Brown, and Danes want to be Dale Thomas. Oh, no, I didn't see the boxing matches, Rogie. They're actually boxing matches. I presume they're wearing helmets. God, I wouldn't want to fight Dane Swan. I'm not going to lie. Mind you, he's not a big guy, but I just feel like he'd be scary. Kane Corns is not a big guy, although he would obviously be tough. Rogie says Cameron a lock. Yeah, so the two factors are his fitness, but the other one was probably Geelong being a little bit better than they were last year, which I probably would bet on. Jesse Hogan for Coleman. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's that good. I get your point. Like, he did have a good end of the year, but I mean, he kicked 9 against Essendon. That Essendon performance was awful. Not trying to take anything away from him as such. He's just I just think there's better players for the Coleman, but not a bad Smokey, along with Mitch Lewis. Wangani Miller is my love child. Do you have a love child in the AFL? As in just a player I really like? Oh, it was always Shuey, and still is. Hey Jesse, who's your favourite Eagles player? The structures and the stoppages and structures coach, Luke Shuey. I don't know who my favourite player is anymore. Junior Rowley was up there. I think it might be Oscar Allen now, and Elijah Hewitt maybe. My bet is Nath will have a sports bet multi for the fight. That is guaranteed to lose. There you go, Magpies, man. Interesting. Darthy says Noah Long. That's a good call. Ash Johnson to kick 30 plus goals. Ooh, big call. Nah, it's not really that big. It is a bit big. That is a bit big, but not crazy. Machito Owens All-Australian. In what position, Lily, do you think? Jamie Cripps, most underrated small forward. Excuse me. He is damn good. I actually do think Jamie Cripps is one of my favourite Eagles. Now that I think about it, I do really like him. And I really think he's important. Not many people would have Jamie Cripps as their favourite Eagle or in that mix, I feel. But now that I think about it, I think The way he ended the season as well, he really won me over. But I've always kind of liked him. So halfway mark of this innings, 1 for 81. The Heat should be pretty happy with this, I would say. Bobby Hill, All-Australian. I think it's going to be stiff competition. Particularly for a half-forward spot, because you're going to lose one of those to a midfielder at least. And then you got Charlie Cameron. Toby Green's probably going to take another spot, absolutely. So then what are the other small, medium types he's competing with? He's got to beat out Papley. He's got to beat out... Cozzy Pickett actually has been very consistent the last few years. I think Cozzy Pickett's probably a better shout than Bobby Hill. Sorry, Rogie. My opinion. Even Cody Waitman actually kicks a lot of goals. Like, there's a chance Cody Waitman gets into this team. I know that's crazy. Look, I wouldn't say Cody Waitman's going to be a big chance for All-Australian this year, but I just think he's closer to it than I realised. He's not bad. Shaw's to kick 40 goals is bold. I don't think he has 40 goals in him. Good play, though. Cripps has always been the team first player. Yeah. I think he's teaching Noah Long a lot of that stuff, from what I can gather from Shuey's comments, but also the fact that Cripps has really taken Long under his wing. Maybe Brockman can also be that sort of player as well. Sort of like busy forward half player. Harry Schoenmaker should replace Brad Hill in the back lines. Hill will play in the forward lines. Really? Brad Hill's a forward? I don't know if he's... Has he ever really played there? Genuine question. I feel like he's always been wing or back, right? I'm not saying he won't be good. I just don't know. Always feel Hutch was underrated. I think Hutch was really good in a team that had good midfielders around him. If we had like a lot of injuries and he was a first rotation midfielder, I think he wasn't spectacular. But he had a good career. Premiership tagger. That's pretty cool. I remember when we drafted him at pick 60 in 2012. I would have been stoked to learn that he'd be a premiership tagger. Good career. After we took Brant College at 45 and Adam Carter at 59, I think that was the order. What a outstanding draft for us. No, Hutchings at 60 was a good pick. Magpies, man, 3 picks for AA. More Dacos. Jamie Elliott. I'd be shocked if Jamie Elliott does it. Just because I just think there's, like I said before, there's so many other players of that type that I just can't like put behind Jamie Elliott. But then again, you get all kinds of surprises thrown up. Cozzy Pickett fell off a cliff after his first few years. I thought so too, Pat Casby. You look at his output, right? And he kicked 41 goals, 40 goals, and then he kicked 37 last year, which is less, but he also tackled way more. So I know it's just stats. But if you're looking for stats to back up his drop-off, I couldn't find it. I was like, oh, it's actually still a pretty good player. And talented enough to be a possibility to explode. Darth says Longy should be half forward. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I think he's a bit more of a playmaker than a genuine goal sneak. But it is early days. Like, he could develop that. I mean, Cripps is very good around goals. Like, I know that he's mostly a defensive forward, but, like, he kicks bags of 5s every now and then. 5. And just a ridiculously good set shot. I don't know. His accuracy, he doesn't, like, look attractive when he kicks for goals. But, like, you feel like he's almost just harnessed that skill. Like, he's just practiced it a lot and gotten really accurate. Maybe no one can do that. But I agree, he's more of a playmaker up the field. Bobby Hill AA is my bias creeping in. I mean, fair enough, Rogie. He did have an outstanding grand final, and he's at the age where you could see him going from good to great, or good to very good. No, it's not a worse call. I wasn't really criticising it, more just adding to the discussion. Clayton Oliver, overrated, rated or underrated? Right now, probably underrated, because I think people have swung around on him and been like, what a head case. Or maybe it's more correct to say that they've kind of forgotten how good he is. I think he's... But when he was like, in Melbourne's team, consistently and part of that quality team, I think he was rated properly. Ooh, important catch. Although it was McSweeney, not Brown. David King is big on St Kilda this year. I'm pretty positive on the Saints this year. I don't know if I have them creeping into the 4 or anything, but I can't see a reason for them missing finals, to be honest. So whether that is considered big on them, are just fairly complimentary of them. I noticed that Darth sounds like he's not far away from match sim. Which is way ahead of schedule. I still think he starts the team in the waffle, but that's all right. He's missed a lot of footy. I wouldn't really want to put him straight back in the AFL team for his sake as well. Just get him back to playing competitive football. Yeah, I've noticed that, Rogie. David King does put in a lot of work. Fraser Garrick should be West Coast forward coach. Who is our forward coach? There's been a shuffle, I've forgotten. Isn't it like Knights? Did somebody... God, I've forgotten. I did know. This is the off-season creeping in. Even though I'm still making footy content, I've literally forgotten who the Eagles line coaches are. I know that Shuey's stoppages. But I know that they shuffled them around. Ooh. Cam Mooney's big on Reef McGuinness and McRae this year. I don't really, I have strong thoughts on Reef McGuinness or McRae because I haven't followed them in the VFL. Other than I know that through Brogy, both of them I think McRae will be close to the team this year. Reef, I don't know if he's necessarily... This is an outsider looking in. It sounds like Johnson's probably the one that you'd expect to come in first. Reef will probably feature throughout the year. And I know that Reef had a good year. Thanks again to Rogue Riot. So, as they're reviewing this. I thought he got bad on that, but again, I'm kind of half watching. Flicks the pad. Definitely flicks the pad. I think he's in some strife here. Yeah, he's out. Is that Brown? It is Brown, eh? It was a great ball. Maybe assisted by the pitch, but it dipped and it it dipped hard and just skidded a little. Great delivery. Steve O'Keefe gets his 99th wicket. Great delivery. And a big wicket. That's a big wicket. 3 for 90 of 12.2. Pretty even game. At least no team really having the ascendancy at this point. Girk re-signing with the Renegades. I didn't even see that, to be honest. But I presume... how long did he sign for? I mean, it's a good move. He's a great player, and it's good to see him rewarded with a ODI spot. Interesting take, Rogie, yeah. Yeah, when it flicks the pad, I suppose. Keith's got 4 balls. How does he get pants that fit to take his 100th wicket? Yeah, I would like to see Marek in the back line, particularly while he's skinny Darth. And I do think, well, it would help us organise our forwards a little bit better. Like, I'm curious as to how the Flynn and Williams combo works if we're going to play Marek as well. Like, it feels like a little taller there. That being said, down back, it's probably going to be just as hard to get a spot because now if we're playing Harley Reid back as well, it's going to be tricky. Virat Kohli's taking time out from cricket. What? Really? Let me Google this. Get Mick Malloy out of my search history. Yeah, didn't Mick Malloy play in that Collingwood 2002 team? Yeah, that's true, Rogie. Yeah, it is a weird rule. You do see a lot of catches that way too, where they just sort of tap it back into play. But then again, it's entertaining. Who's the new batsman? Brian and Renshaw. Interesting. What happened to Steve Johnson? Did I say what happened to Steve Johnson? No, remind me. I kind of don't mind when they take catches like that, to be honest. Well, it's particularly interesting when they throw it at somebody else, but which I realise you can still do in the rule change that you're suggesting, but Bing is so shit. It just opens everything in a new tab. Not Bing, sorry. Microsoft Edge. What am I talking about? Microsoft Edge. KO only works in Edge for me right now. Let's not do this again, by the way. But I just click a link and it just opens a new tab instead of staying in the same tab. Oh wow, he got stabbed. Steve Johnson, I presume. Wow. Thinking about these Virat Kohli reasons first, and then I'm going to Google Steve Johnson. Oh yeah, Darth Jar Jar. I know who you're talking. It's Jordan Jones, and he got in trouble for like secretly recording his mother-in-law. It was on the news. He's Geelong's Falcons kid, played 2 games for us. But like a year ago, it was on the news. Former Eagle films mother-in-law taking a shower or something or getting changed. Yeah, so even more to that story. Oh, okay, Pat Kaz, I see. I'm just reading about Kohli first. What does it say? Just says personal reasons. Fair enough. Steve Johnson, AFL. Oh, thanks, Rogie. Appreciate that. Yeah, I wasn't sure how that would be perceived. I don't know how many people would find that interesting, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, man. G'day, J Tomo. Good to have you, mate. I'm just looking up Steve Johnson news. Life-threatening incident. I haven't noticed about the Ric Flair woo. Todd Murphy. No, I don't think so, Carpe. I think people can make mistakes and learn from them. I don't think he necessarily needs to be consigned to obscurity forever. I mean, he's been at Sydney since then. I think he's a good choice. I'm happy about it. Seems like a good operator. Success seems to follow him, and he's also an Eagles man, like premiership player. Like, I do like that narrative as well. Ross Lyon is the funniest coach at press conference. I find him hard to watch. Maybe it's because he's with Fremantle for so long. Oh, Rogie. What's this about? What have you done this time? Richard Hertz was gifted a membership. What a legend, Rogie. Thanks, Rogie. Congratulations, Richard. I think you just got access to about 3 more videos that are up at the moment. Thank you, Rogie. I definitely don't, I have no idea how this keeps happening. Like, I keep streaming after you get paid. I feel like I stream so, what's the word? Not consistently, though. Like, it's just every now and then. So, it's just luck. But I appreciate the support, mate. You're a legend. Saw the funny videos, but in the Chiefs-Bills game, no, I don't follow Formula One, so I'm not even really sure what Max Verstappen's song is. West Coast won the premiership this year. What would I do? I would gloat. Specifically to all the people who have given me the most shit. And I'm really talking about Drewzy. I would never stop gloating to Drewzy. I would do a True Footy podcast with Drewzy and I would just roast him the entire time. That's I'm not bitter. But on a more serious note, I'd probably fly home if we were like, I know this is never going to happen, so if we're in a hypothetical world, right? If the Eagles were good, if we were like 3rd or 4th, oh no. If we were 3rd or 4th at the start of the finals, I'd be considering getting a ticket home. I don't know if I would. We'd have to be like first. We'd have to be first for me to actually buy a ticket home. Shit, that'd be hard. Like, I wouldn't necessarily try and go to the game. I would try and probably fail. But I would probably like to be in Perth. I'll give the max amount of memberships. It's definitely not going to happen. There are a few certainties in sport, but that seems certain. Mind you, we're not the only team that's certainly not going to win the flag this year. It's probably like 12. Or maybe less than that, But yeah, hypothetically, I was just thinking, like, what would I do given I'm in the UK? Good time for us to be shit. We probably would get investigated for taking Darth, but then again, we would just have the compelling argument of our injuries. Which, by the way, everyone has forgotten. That's just the nature of footy. So you can have the 2 back-to-back years of the worst injuries possible, like unseen before in the AFL. But by round 1 of next year, people forget that. It's just human nature, and they just don't care, and they just think, oh, that's as bad as the Eagles were. It's not because of injuries; it's just because they're bad. So, like, fair enough. the only thing we can do as Eagles fans is wait for the injuries to get better, and we will be. I'm not saying we'll be finalists, but we won't be pathetic. We won't be a basket case if we have a decent injury run. But until that happens, we can't really say much. Because it falls on deaf ears. Nobody wants to hear injuries. Does Chris Lewis have a son? I have no idea. I would have thought if he did have a son, he'd just about be old enough to play AFL. So I would have guessed no. Well, Rogie, I think thanks to you, I think that is our 8th. I think you were responsible for 3 of them. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So thank you, Rogie. You're a champion. I don't know if Richard Hertz has seen what has happened. He'll probably just open up YouTube the next time and see 3 new videos from True Footy saying members only. And he'll be like, it's kind of weird. Nah, surely he'll get it. Will he get a notification? Because Max Hansen didn't. I don't think. He just heard me say it in the stream. You should get a notification for it. Seems like there's a bit in this pitch. So I think the Heat with 111 off 15, 112 off 15 and a half. Ooh. I feel like they're in a good spot here. They should really be aiming for 180. Wait, how much is that? 67 off 26 balls. Yeah, it's probably a bit steep. Aim for 80. That's right, Rogie. Yes. Pressure's on, mate. Yeah, no, I really appreciate the memberships in general. It's been good lately. For a little while there, I wasn't able to upload and get in advance to really justify the early access. But at the moment, I think there's 3 videos out there. It will ebb and flow a little bit because I've got to go down to London and renew my passport. So there'll be a couple of days where I don't make content. But I've been fairly good at getting out multiple a day when I want to. So it should continue. And we'll probably have our own footy tipping comp for a start. $116 off 16. So yeah, still hard to pick a leader here. Team batting first is generally 1. I think that's the stat that just came up at the SCG this year. But yeah, I was in the middle of Googling what happened to Steve Johnson. Then I complained about Edge opening up different things. Thanks, Chris Thompson. Appreciate it, mates. I'm glad you like them. I'm definitely going to be doing more of them. The current process is make one and then come up with all the videos in between, and then once I get a few days ahead, I start writing the next one so that I don't miss any days of videos. So I've already got my next one planned, which I probably won't spoil. But yeah, I'm aiming to do one of those a week for the next 10 weeks, basically. I've got a contract as well with BetterHelp, so it's part of that as well. They're not making me make those videos. I just mean those are a good video to use the brand sponsorship with. Thanks, Rogie. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've got some good feedback on the Cats one. It was a slog, hey? It was tough. I don't think any of them were as hard as the Eagles one. In terms of just like sheer amounts of videos I had to cut down to make that work. Now I think about it, I don't know why the Eagles one felt like it was harder than the Cats one. Because they were both about 16 minutes. But, yeah. I tried doing a much shorter one with the Brisbane one. And to be honest, I wasn't very happy with it. And then the views didn't... I don't think even that many people saw it come out. I was mixing with the format. I was kind of testing how a 4-minute video would go versus a 16-minute video. Would it do better? Because my Collingwood video was 6 minutes. So I'm doing a little bit of testing, and yeah, it didn't do very well. I did think about the irony of that, Rogue, right? In the video, a couple of times I say, you know, this video is depressing, and then in the middle I do an ad for BetterHelp. Couldn't get through the Eagles vid. Come on, man. Yeah, it is a bit of a low note, but it ends on a high note, sort of. As soon as I saw JK sink Richmond, oh god, yeah, that was such a good game though. That was like the last really exciting time. To be fair though, beating the Bulldogs was pretty good too. It's all relative. River Stevens. Is that Anthony's son? Hawthorn's build to 08 and then do a build to... Hang on, sorry. It's just something's obscured it. Yeah, it's not bad, Chris. The Hawks and Richmond are certainly on the agenda. I've got another idea at the moment as well. Actually, I'll just tell you guys, there's not too many people in the chat. It doesn't really matter anyway. The next video I want to do is called The Race to 17 AFL Premierships. I'm thinking about how to do that at the moment. So, Rogie, you'll obviously feature in that, or your team. But yeah, Hawthorn and Richmond come to mind. I want to do a St Kilda video. I would like to try and, you know, work across all of the teams. Some teams have clear narratives to write about and some don't. Like, what do I say about Fremantle? Like, or... I don't know. Here's another example. Even the Sydney Swans. I suppose with Sydney Swans, it would be similar vein to how they've stayed so good. But yeah, you get the point. Like some teams, the narrative is very obvious, and some are not. That being said, I would like to cover the teams fairly evenly. The other thing with the Hawks as well is it's kind of already been done on YouTube. But that being said, like every story is unique. Like everyone's attempts to make that story can be quite unique. So I'll still do it. But Roast to 17 is a great idea. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, I was thinking about it last night. About the way I'm going to structure the video. So hopefully it's good. Also, 3 large fan bases that Pandas too. That's not why I was going to do it. That was just more like an added bonus. Because the reality is, like, the Brisbane video tanked probably partly because not that many people. I don't think there's a lot of Brisbane fans who subscribe to True Footy. Obviously, they're not a huge club anyway. They're sort of like lower middle, if that, bottom third maybe. So that doesn't help. But I don't think the video was particularly groundbreaking anyway. Christian game was a good game. Oh no, Duff. That's a shame. That was one of my favourite nights at Optus Stadium ever. In fact, I'd probably say second favourite experience at Optus. It narrowly beats when we beat Melbourne when Liam Ryan took that screamer. That was a good game too. And it doesn't beat the prelim. The prelim was amazing. Oh god, Rogie. I just read that. That's funny. Alfie Wajinski. God. Geelong have done well with the father-son rule. It's something I kind of skated over a little bit in the Geelong video. not taking anything from them really, but I mean, when you consider Scarlett, Ablett, and Hawkins just off the top of my head. Geez, the Heat are really turning up the heat. It's a good video, Rogie. It's almost like a footy A to Z kind of concept. I don't even really know what I'd say off the top of my head. What makes a successful rebuild? I mean, there's key elements like you draft well, trade well, and retain players. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think I could come up with something interesting, more interesting than the things that just came out of my mouth. I think there's something to that. I like it. You have more subscribers than Gold Coast 2 members. Is that right? Or is that a joke? Because I would have guessed they had more... Oh, no, they're in the early 20s, aren't they? That's pretty whack. Maybe just comparing two rebuilds, one successful, one not. It's not a bad idea. No, in fact, it's better than that. It's a good idea. What are some examples of bad rebuilds? So we probably got Carlton a few times there, at least once. I'd probably argue Fremantle's purely from the point of view that it's taken so long and its retention with them. It's at least worth a mention. Like, had they retained their players better, they would have not missed finals 6 out of 7 years. Obviously, there's, Melbourne's probably had a couple of, or at least one failed rebuild before their current good one. Richmond's rebuild was good. But again, like, I suppose their rebuild... Would you call it a rebuild between, like... 01, they made a prelim, I reckon, Richmond, and then they were irrelevant until 2010 was when Harbutt took over, and it did take him like 3 years to make the finals after that, so I don't know. Melbourne and Essendon to an extent. Yeah, that's true. Although, I mean, if you're saying Essendon's current rebuild is not a success, I would say it's probably still a little bit early before you write them off. I think they're probably at the point now with their list maturity where it's time to actually start performing. Because, like, you think of... Oh, mind you. Like, McGrath was pick 1 the year that the whole shit went down. And that's gone back like 7 years now. 8 years. I suppose they did kind of get decimated, though. West Coast rebuild, at least, not to make about my club, but fuck, we could use some positive PR, but like that rebuild after Judd and Cuz, that took 3 years. That was unreal. That's one of the better examples of a genuinely fast rebuild that I can think of. One or two, maybe in the past 20 years, yeah. Yeah, they've definitely had a couple of failed ones, you're right. Adelaide last for Sequa? Sorry, I'm missing the meaning there. You see Adelaide's lasted 4? Is that what you mean? Because Adelaide did pop into my head too. Like after 2018, they fell down the ladder. Spoon in 2020. That hasn't been particularly fast. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Is that 6 years out of finals for Adelaide? That's actually fairly long. I mean, they're in decent shape. There wasn't a criticism, but it's just It's been a while. If I'm thinking of the right years, which I think I am. I'm pretty sure they missed the finals after the grand final. Haven't been back since. Big wicket there. Brisbane was starting to get a few boundaries. Bit of a soft dismissal in the end. Seasons of steady rebuild. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think Adelaide's tracking all right. Quite well, actually. They should make finals next year, I would have thought. Oh man, I could easily smash another coffee. I've also had 2 bottles of water. Good point, Rogi. Sydney. Yeah, so Sydney, did they play finals in 18? They definitely did in 17. They might have in 18. 19, 20, they weren't good. And 21, was that the year they bounced into the finals? They beat Brisbane in round 1 of the Gabba. I remember that. Yeah. I'm going to guess and say maybe 18 they might have missed. I don't fully remember. But yeah, either way, a very good example. What is my biggest call for the Adelaide Crows? Well, let me think about that. I don't know if I have any big calls. I think they'll make finals. I think their range is probably, they could finish 6th. 4th is... If they finish 4th, I think it would be a surprise. They're good enough, particularly at home, so if they can crunch all those teams away at home and then improve away, they can accumulate enough home and away wins. But I feel like they would probably be one of those teams that makes a 4 and isn't quite ready to genuinely compete. Circa West Coast 2011, if anyone is an Eagles fan. I know there's Eagles fans in the chat now, but that's just a good example. Just sort of there, if that makes sense. They finished 6th, lost badly to GWS. I had a feeling they played GWS in an elimination final in 2018. Yeah, right. I vaguely remember that now. It was a bad loss. GWS then went on to play Collingwood in the semi, right, Rogi? Yes, and Collingwood beat them in the semi, and then Collingwood went to play Richmond, that's right. Yeah, I remember they got smashed. Yeah, Sydney have done well. It does help they have an academy, I'm not going to lie. But they're a very good organisation regardless. I think the Adelaide Crows can make the grand final in 2030. Yeah? Yeah, I feel like sometimes we undershoot how long it actually is going to take for teams to get it. Oh, is that another wicket? It is. We undershoot how long it actually takes to build a team capable of being in contention. It's like, yeah, you got to do 2 or 3 years genuinely at the bottom, but then there's, generally speaking, there's years of graft in the middle to upper middle part of the ladder too. Yeah, most premiership teams have done that. I'm trying to think who they are. So, obviously Geelong were around for ages. Collingwood have been around for ages. Obviously had 1 year where they dipped down, but they were just around the mark. Even Richmond, they missed finals the year before their 3 premierships, 16. They missed in 16, but they played 3 elimination finals before that. There's a lot of unglamorous upper middle table stankin' to really get there. So what I mean is, for West Coast fans who think we're 3 or 4 years away, yeah, we're probably 3 or 4 years away from being in the finals, but there's another big gap to then actually being in contention. Is that right, Chris? You really think the last 2 seasons have been better than 2000 and 2001? That was before my time, so I'm intrigued by that. No, man, just finish bottom ones and then prelim to premiers. Yeah, yeah, but I know you're probably being facetious, but the thing is with Collingwood is like a lot of that 2018 team, the 2019 team, the 2020 team, all those teams that played finals and got to at least a semi in all of those years. Yeah, it's still a large chunk of the same team. Is that a hat trick? I've barely been concentrating. It's not a hat trick, is it? I think it's just 3 quick wickets. No, I think it's not 3 in a row. Classic BBL merchant. Yeah, I know what you mean. He's actually a pretty handsome guy, not to make it weird. But I feel like we've already crossed that line on True Footy Live several times. I'm going to get another bottle of water, guys. Excuse me. You know that I must have been dehydrated when you consider I've had maybe 2.5 bottles of water. Like, they're about 500 mil, I think. 600 mil. 2 bottles of that this morning. 2.5. And I haven't even thought about peeing. It's like, god damn. Eagles still have premiership players on the list. Should bounce back with sensible recruiting. G'day, Petra. Yes, I agree that people undersell the potential of our best 22 when fit. But an important distinction is to say that I'm not saying we will be racing back into finals. There's obviously a lot of grey area between where the Eagles are at now and actually playing finals. And we could be like the 15th best side if we are fit. Yeah, in fact, if we're fully fit, I think we'd be better than that. I think that is kind of just a reality that people forget is like, if you get a really good, healthy injury run, you can go pretty far. It just doesn't happen that often. And that applies to any team. Oh, that's out. Run out. Now it's 7 years ago, the Allies could have won the 2017 grand final. He's going back. Well, I mean, they were in front at half time, weren't they? And I want to say they were the stronger of the two teams in the first half. I remember thinking this is going to be Adelaide's day. Then they rolled over a little bit. But to be fair, when you consider what that Richmond team would go on to become, not too disappointing. I suppose that, now I think about it, that is the distinction between the 2015 and the 2017 grand finals, because the margins were almost identical. I think Adelaide lost by 1 extra point than West Coast, but the difference in that game was Adelaide was in front at halftime and should have been a real chance. So to get rolled in the second half specifically would have been hard to digest as fans. Whereas West Coast, we kicked the first goal against Hawthorn. I was like, yeah, we're going to win. I'm never going to die. I'm the smartest guy in the world. And then proceeded to concede like 9. So there wasn't really that same kind of hope. We kicked a few before halftime to close the margin a little, but yeah. On average, women need about 2 litres of water per day, men about 2.5. There you go. I think I comfortably drink 4. I drink so much water. Probably too much. I actually... You know what? I'm not going to actually expand on that. Sometimes the filter in my brain does work. But yeah, I drink heaps of water. Every time I see Enriquez, I'm always surprised how big of a schnoz he has. I forget Enriquez still plays, eh? I feel like he's been around for like 15 years. I always laugh at that funny video. There's that video years ago of I think it's staged, but is it like Cummins or Stark walks in with a camera, and it's Enriquez in bed, and he's on the laptop, and he sort of like pulls the covers over. It kind of looks like he's doing something sus, which I'm sure he wasn't. And whoever it was, whether it's Mitch Stark or whatever, he's like, "Oh, what you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I was just listening to some Spotify." It's like the most sus thing ever. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure it was pretty big. Brown big out for the Heat. Yeah, you're right, Ben. That was a big wicket. Oh, Renshaw might have got a hold of this. That's a great shot. So that taking 164? Yeah, I think that is that's a big six. Like, that is important. Good innings from Renshaw, to be fair. Just looking on Spotify, that's what I was joking. Yeah. The most unconvincing thing to say. Oh. I know one thing about the A's. Beer is 90% water. Yeah. I'm going to have a few beers tonight. It's my roommate's birthday. He's turning the big 3-0. Tugging the old Slazenger, you reckon? Right? Just knocking it in. Ah, it's inappropriate. Why did he have his door open though? Yeah, it's just... Oh, what the hell's happened here? Ah, of course it was the last ball. Nice, so 166 for 8. I think is the final score there. Yeah, it's winnable, 166. Pretty evenly poised, I'd say. That third run was ambitious, yeah. I suppose in the BBL final, though, you might as well put some pressure on and go for it. Wait with me 1 second. Yeah, 166. This is a good game. Good game between two good teams. Can the Adelaide Crows win? No, not really in the next couple of years, I wouldn't have thought. Give it 4 years, I reckon. They probably need to uncover like another Jordan Dawson level footballer in that midfield. Forward line's stacked. Back line has enough potential to be getting on with. But midfield, you know, when you consider a life post-Laird, you need like one of like Pedler or Shelley, Chase Jones, these guys to really become really good footballers. Ben says, how long are you staying over there for? I know, like, I don't think I'm going to get there to any Eagles games in 2024, unfortunately. It would be nice to see those guys in person. It occurred to me, I actually don't know if I've seen Elijah Hewitt play in person. I don't know. Did he play against... I only went to one AFL game last year. It was Eagles in Melbourne. I actually don't know if Elijah Hewitt was playing. But yeah, there'd be a bunch of Eagles I haven't seen in person yet. But yeah, no, we're looking at probably 25. I am agonising a little bit over like what my year looks like this year. I have a sister who's expecting, which is amazing, back in Perth. So I want to be home for that, but it's kind of like July. I can't afford to go back there and then come back to the UK. I want to see America this year, sorry. I've got a lot to think about. But yeah, to answer your question, it'll probably be like December 24. Riley says Crows 7th or 8th. Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably consistent with where I would have them. Oh, Rogie. I've seen... as as successful as the Eagles have been, broadly speaking, I have sat through a lot of shit football as a fan. Definitely no bandwagon here. The Eagles really do go all out. When we fall apart, we fall apart. You experience the full spectrum of football fandom when you're an Eagles fan. That's not completely unique to us, but probably we might be the biggest example of that. Like, Adelaide have been through some shit. And to be fair, actually, it has been a while since they won a flag, so West Coast's gap is definitely larger. Ports is also a little bit up and down. They did have premiership glory. They also were borderline basket case around that 2011 period, I want to say. Brisbane. Yeah, Brisbane's a really good example. They were basket case and three-peat. So there's a few. That's right, Petra. That's reminded me. Good point. Because I went to America April of last year as well. I need to get I forgot what it is. The visa thing. I forgot what it's called. Need to look into that. Yeah, Ben, I'm not a huge NBA guy. I don't really follow it. I used to play as the Lakers when I played 2K because of Kobe. But then when I got a bit older and Kobe retired, I started playing with Golden State because of Steph Curry, but I don't really follow it, to be honest with you. The shit the Pies go through is different. Ours is just at the top, so it hurts that much more. I get what you mean. But no one's really talked about Collingwood as long as I've been alive about being an absolute joke. I'm looking forward to this chapter in the Eagles story ending. But it is good for views. But I would rather not be the joke. I was having a look at some of my Eagles corner videos this year. And as you can imagine, all the top views were like, Hawthorn annihilates West Coast. Sydney humiliates West Coast. I didn't do a derby one because I was in Canada at the time. And then it's like, the Eagles win a game is like 1,000 views. Nobody gives a shit. So we'll see. Gotta be so nice to win a derby though. Our type of pain is personified by the fact that I love it when Collingwood choke song. Collingwood choke song? Oh, sorry, I read that completely. What is that song? Love it when Collingwood choke. Not familiar. Maybe it's because I'm outside of Melbourne. Michael Vaughan's sporting some very white trainers. Yeah, right. Average score in the tournament is 155 at this ground. It's good to know. Yeah, right, UCAT. Thanks for chiming back in with that. You literally go for Fremantle and Man United. Like, seriously. My two rivals. Sorry, trying to fix this high production live stream here. Processing your question, Alan. So, are you asking what is the weight listing? What impact is that going to have on the AFL video game? I get what you mean. So the obvious connection there is like customizing players and making their sizes and stuff. Yeah, that's an interesting point. It hadn't even occurred to me. They will have to find a different way to customize players in that way. Yeah, I didn't play that game. Unfortunately, it sort of came out as I left Australia, I think. And I sold my PlayStation. When I get back to Australia, though, I'm buying a console and I'm going to buy whatever AFL game comes out. I really want them to be good. So I'll support the cause. Philly or New York teams, yeah. Any particular reason there? I know are you a Philly Eagles fan? I think you said that last time. Should get the salad trim. I was thinking of bringing the mullet back, actually. Then I was like, no. Mohamed Salah's hair, I couldn't grow it if I could. Or if I wanted to. I like his hair. He's handsome. It's presenters that wear red shoes we should be worried about. Young Ronaldo. You know, there's probably a time in my life where I would have done that as a joke, and it probably would have been like 2022. You know, I've had the temptation to shave my head, grow the mullet, grow it long, like all in the space of like 6 weeks. I really got to stop listening to these instincts. All these ideas are bad. At the moment, I'm kind of just letting my hair grow at the moment because I don't want to spend the £12 on getting a haircut unnecessarily. Because I'm like, I don't really socialize at the moment. I just sort of make videos for this next little period of my life. It's just going to be, it's like being in training camp. It's like I'm shut off for the world. I'm just making content. So why spend 25 Australian on a haircut? So my hair's just growing out and I look a little bit homeless, but that's all right. Philly is the best. No, Petra, I didn't really understand that. I was kind of waiting to see if there was a red-shoed commentator, and I was hoping the joke would click later. What? I don't know what that signifies. Is that a symbol? Shave your beard to a stash. I was thinking of going a short mullet and stash again, but I don't know. These things, I don't know if I really could pull it off. And I'm worried about myself getting tempted to grow a disgusting mullet again. It is hard watching some old True Footy stuff and seeing how bad I let my hair get. But I knew I was doing it on purpose. But like at the same time, I look at it and go, God, there's not a man looking after himself. You should go to the cricket in England. Yeah. So the only reason I didn't this summer is I was traveling a lot. And when I was in England, I was like, okay, I better make some YouTube videos to try and make some rent money. Having said that, when the summer comes around, I want to go to the 100 and stuff like that. Like just experience a bit of a day there. My roommate's mum goes a lot to county games. So I'd be keen on that. Mullet's big in the UK too. I wouldn't say big, but like I came here in 2022 on holiday, and in northern England, like Manchester area, which is a little bit more hipster, you saw a few, and then in London you didn't see any. And then I moved here when did I move here? I know when I moved here. I only moved here a few months after. Timelines are... Yeah, I moved here like 6 months later. That was the part that I was surprised about. And London has a few, and Manny has like a fair few now. So it is increasing, to answer that question. In Australia, they're definitely saturated, they're roguey. 100%. I think that's kind of why I shaved mine off, because like I think you reach that point of saturation when you see, like if you're at the shops and you can see like school kids have just finished school and they've all got mullets. Like if every schoolboy has a mullet now, then it's time for a 30-year-old to not have a mullet anymore. It's kind of alright when it's cool, like when it's a bit different. But yeah, don't understand why people have mullets unironically these days. I think they can look cool. But I don't think. I think it's one of those things where if every man and his dog has them, and I've seen dogs with them, then it kind of loses its charm. But I think there can be good fashionable ones, definitely. I think some people really rock it quite well. You should do vlogs, man. Oh yeah, cheers, man. Like, yeah, it'd be cool. I actually feel really uncomfortable. If I'm being completely honest, I don't feel comfortable doing it. I feel self-conscious. That is pretty much the reason I don't do it. I liked them as a video concept, but to be honest, if I did a vlog of the UK, like, it'd be very samey. My day-to-day is very boring. But yeah, I like vlog content generally. Matching tracksuit, become a lad. Yeah, God. Yeah, it can be a little chavvy around here, to be honest. Particularly this certain bar, which I'll probably end up at tonight because it's my roommate's birthday. But yeah, you get a little bit of the dregs of society, which I know sounds really harsh and snobbish, but if you saw these guys, you know what I mean. And like dangerous to be out kind of people. Sort of people you just don't want to stare at because you will end up in a fight. You're right, Pat Kaz, although he has an extreme mullet, whereas if you look at like... I'm trying to think of a mullet that is a bit more fashionable. If you know who Jeff Whittick is, he had a good one for a while. I actually think Theo Von kind of suits one. You know, he's not a particularly handsome man. Mind you, I did watch one the other day with him, and he looked like a 40-year-old woman. But mullets can be like that. Like, if you let them grow out a little, you can look a little bit off. I think Logan Paul really suits a mullet. I think his best look is a mullet. So I think it can work. The Bailey Smith hairstyle is extreme. And you're right, only he can really get away with that. Caleb Poulter's another one. Girls love him. It's an extreme hairstyle. In the 1980s, almost all players had mullets. That's true. Things have really swung back the other way. I feel like when I was younger, like these uni days, 70s fashion sort of got back into vogue. Like, particularly as bands like Tame Impala came around, like you had the long hair thing. And I feel like these days, as a 30-year-old looking at 20-year-olds, I feel like the 80s and 90s are really coming into vogue. The mullets are different to what they were in the 80s. They're a bit more modern and stylish and fashionable. Like, I do think they've probably made some twists on that. But the 90s bowl cut and stuff like that, that is really a thing now. And that is something I just can't set my watch to. To use a Simpsons reference. Like, the really bowl cut, like... Oh, what's the guy? Kelso from that 70s show, which I know is set in the 70s, but... Like, that kind of style is really a thing now with people 10 years younger than me. Tommy Alvin, Gary Ayres, that's true. Those were extreme mullets. Jacob Elordi, some shorter mullets that look more fashionable. Yes, I can't think of Jacob Elordi's mullet, but I did watch a movie with him the other day, and it was the creepiest movie ever. It's called Saltburn. Yeah, I have to find an actual mullet photo of him, but yeah, that's a little bit more of a it's like a top heavy one. How old is he? Man, he's only 26. In some of these photos, he looks older than me. In some, he looks younger. Yeah, right. Maybe I forget how old I am. It happens to me on a daily basis. I read your comment just as he took that wicket. Have the Heat got this? It does feel like they are destined. A little bit. But Sydney are good, so yeah. Hughes is gone. I feel like the Heat are just narrowly ahead here. You got Philippe. He's obviously dangerous. But Neeser is also dangerous. Neeser Duts, as they say. The log habit thing is gross. Yeah, Logan Paul kind of only looks good with a mullet, to be honest. He's had it for years now. And I think it suits him because both Paul brothers obviously seen a little bit of hair loss, so they kind of wear their hair forward in that way. But Logan Paul's hairstyle when he was cancelled in Japan, it was quite awful, if I'm going to be completely honest. But the mullet, I think, is his best look. Not gross if it's Neezer. Log cabin just sounds... I just think of poo. How dare you insult the cabin? You've just lost my invite. Oh no. Gross. It does sound like that though. Would it be cheeky to post a TikTok while I'm on here with you guys? It probably would be, but I'm going to do it anyway. I haven't actually looked at who is really in this batting lineup for the Sixers because I've been very distracted by the chat, which is a good thing. So you got Enriquez, you got Silk, Davies, Hayden Kerr, Sean Abbott. Not really star-studded. Philippe is a dangerous player, no doubt. You know what I'm sick of seeing on TikTok? And I just go on TikTok to upload and then get out. But sometimes I get stuck for a little few seconds. And that stupid trend, drop it to the floor and I drop it to the floor like black, 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 black. Now lean, black. Flat. That sucks. And yet I watch them all to the end and I'm just fucking my algorithm. Stupid TikTok. I'm sure we've all been there. Not a platform I can really get around. I know there's good stuff on there, but still. Alright. We're on to 19 likes, guys. Speaking of edging, I would love to get that to 20. Tell me if you like the stream. Thank you. Just help me algorithmically. Last cricket stream of the summer as well. I don't think I'll do another one. I think I will do more live streams. I've enjoyed the live stream process. But that being said, I think there'll be AFL ones. You know, I might do a pre-season banter one. And I think I'll just chuck on the odd game as well. Maybe even once a week I'll do it. You've never seen a single one of those TikToks, Rogie? Okay, then it's just my algorithm that's cooked itself. It seems to be like one of the most popular dance trends at the moment. Unless I'm just seeing it like months after it's stopped being popular. I don't know. I don't really go on TikTok. But for some reason, they just kind of capture me, but at the same time, I'm like, I hate this. God damn TikTok. Sometimes I watch them and be like, I just want to see how this one's different, and it's very rarely different. That was a great shot. Philippines hit a boundary. G'day Nyasha, good to have you, mate. Hope you're going well. Sorry, I'm posting a TikTok predictions. TikTok's annoying. It's the only platform that I can't schedule posts. I'm nearly done. It's got Drewzy in it though, so it'll probably get less views. Less view duration. We'll tag him in it. That'll probably hurt me. Algorithmically. 1 for 11. The Heat were none for 5? Oh no, that's... Never mind, that's the bowling figures. My head's been all over the place. I really am slow to start in these live streams. Hey? I feel like I say a lot of dumb shit. Usually sleep deprived when I do them, to be completely honest. One for 12 off 2. So both teams lost an early wicket. Is it Bartlett? Bartlett also got picked in the Australian team, didn't he? It's good to see a few new names. I do like using ODI, like home ODI series, as a way to like test new talent. I don't really want to see like Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood again in the ODI team. Drop it to the floor now, drop it to the floor now. Black, black, black. The more you watch, the more they come in your algorithm as well. Giggity. Oh, knees are back into the attack. Or back on for a second over, rather. It's funny to think Steve O'Keefe is still playing. Like, I remember him in I feel like literally the inaugural BBL. He's been around for a long time. I'm pretty sure they got him to open the batting as well back then. Hello, Riley. Drop it to the floor now, drop it to the floor now. Black, black. Okay, now that's the last time I'm going to sing that. They call you Amusement Productions for a reason. Oh. You know what happened to me the other day? I made this grave mistake. I was at the gym, just about finishing up, back and biceps. And right as I'm about to leave, really hot girl walks in. So I was like, oh, I've got to do a few extra sets. So I did like 9 sets of bicep curls and now I can barely move my arms. I also do this thing like as a finisher where I grab like a light dumbbell and I grab it like sideways and I curl it like that. And I try and do like 25 reps. And I did that like 5 times. What an idiot. Good burn set, but it's been 2 days and My arms are my biceps in particular, killing me. Another boundary there. Edwards top edge overs. Wickkeeper. 1 for 19, as Riley points out. Expensive start to the over. I better have huge biceps by the end of that, though. Really into my deadlifts at the moment as well. Just find them so fun. There's a real love-hate relationship there. Going for another ramp shot. The Sixers says Riley, 1 for 21. It is after 3. I hate that I'm a little bit behind. Who are we predicting? Who goes on to win from here? I feel like the Heat. I feel like they've been the best team from what I've seen over the course of the tournament, really. Corey says, "What's my gym routine?" So I do push-pull legs, and I go every day. So I literally train 7 days a week, which is less optimal, but I only train for about 40 minutes, and I don't really train super intensely, and I focus mostly on compounds. So I don't really burn myself out, and I'm sure it's not really optimal, but I really do like going every day. Ben saying Brisbane and Darth Jar Jar agreeing Heat have it in the bag. Interesting. I don't know if I'd agree that it's that certain. Good shot there. Piercing cover drive. I've started doing dips a lot lately. I've noticed I'm starting to get I hope it's not mild tendonitis or something like that, but when I bench press, I get sort tendons around here. So I've kind of do less of those and more dips because it doesn't hurt as much, which is probably costing me gains. That being said, I'm enjoying them. But yeah, I try and deadlift twice a week now. But I don't do it too heavy. I actually max at 110 for, 8 reps. Because I have a consistently bad back. Not so much the back itself. I have really tight glutes and hamstrings, which is, I'm sure, a lovely image for all of you. But what that means is when I do deadlifts, there just feels like a 1% chance with every rep that I do that I'm about to strain my lower back. So I work a lot of my flexibility, and I deliberately just don't go too heavy. And every time I feel any kind of twinge there, I just stop deadlifting. So I can't make any progress with it. But Sixers win just because it's them in a final to find a way, unfortunately. True. A couple of boundaries there. They're not in a bad spot. Free kick Sixers. Spencer Johnson has been El Clapto for 13 off his, first 4 balls. Good shot from Jack Edwards. Ooh, Caden McDonald liked my TikTok. Now that's a dopamine rush. Spencer J choking, says Ben. Yeah, he's been struck for 3 boundaries. 133 needed off 98. That's a better ball. Dot ball. It's interesting. I don't know how many of you find this interesting, but to me it's interesting. Like, I post the same reel on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Yes, Facebook and YouTube Shorts. Like, I just kind of mix and match. It's just interesting to see the different performances in different platforms. None of them are like going viral or anything like that, but some just do better in other platforms for whatever reason. Oh, that's a big wicket. Spencer Johnson has come back in a big way. Petro's put the markers on Edwards. That was him, wasn't it? That just chopped on. Good delivery. Good final 2 balls there. Story of my love life. But yeah, good end to the over. Edwards will be frustrated with that. He was just starting to hit the ball quite well. And that's kind of come out of nowhere, to be honest. Drop it to the floor and drop it to... No, stop. Someone put a different song in my head. But don't make it a bad one. Because that's very easy to do. My role at Christmas in my family is to get that song White Christmas in everyone's head. I feel like I've said this before. I feel like I've said this on the stream because I remember hoping that I would get that in your heads. It's an easy song to get in your head. I'm punching in between overs, punching in my YouTube analytics. I keep an Excel spreadsheet of every month I've ever done, and I update it daily. And the only reason I do this is to motivate me. So I'm like, oh, that was a bad day. Oh, that was a good day. I'm killing it. I'm the best. Nah, but I think it's good for me personally to be really super goal oriented, and I'm numbers driven. So no, that was the worst thing you could have chosen. Amusement Productions. Philippe looking very comfortable out there, says Petra. I like it. That's good from you. Come on, wicket. Oh, it's Enriquez on strike. We'll have to delay the response to that. Oh, good delivery from Kuhneman, whose name always sounds a little bit rude. You should listen to Keep Writing Me by You're Pretty. It's a beautiful song. Either that or Good Looking by Dixon Dallas. Are these actual suggestions? I've never heard of either of those songs. So if those are meme songs that are bad, they have missed the mark, Rogie. But interesting. What genre are we talking? Enriquez is looking extremely comfortable out there. Yeah, I hear the Fremantle Dockers are going to have an extremely comfortable season this year. Yeah, what's the Christmas song that gets stuck in your head every year? That's a good topic. Favorite Christmas song for me is White Christmas, but also Last Christmas by Wham. I actually do think that's a great song. It's probably my favorite Christmas song. I'm low-key loving a bit of George Michael at the moment. I heard like some cover of Careless Whisper and I was like, damn, that actually goes hard. Oh, you with... Yes, Rogie. Yep. You knew what I was going to say, or I knew what you were going to say, perhaps. Last Christmas is great. George Michael is good. In a totally straight way. Nah, I do like his music quite a lot. Well, I really like a few songs. And none of them are terrible, I don't think. The Careless Whisper goes hard, man. It might have been a TikTok that I saw. Classic. The Spinners seem to be having a bit of success in this game. How did the others go? O'Keefe took 1 for 26. Todd Murphy 2 overs for 11. Yeah, so they've been a little bit hard to get away. That's an economy rate of about a run a ball. So something to consider for sure. Now Swipson's into the attack. My distance, but you still catch my eye. That is now officially in my head. It doesn't surprise me. Silver lover with a smile in his heart. Man undercover and tore me apart. If you want me to stop singing, we need more people chatting. Otherwise, I'm going to fill the silences. 2 for 38 of 5.1. Oh, he's really cramping him on the crease there. He's really cramping him on the crease there with 2 straight balls. These song suggestions are very serious. Okay, look at the lyrics. Okay. Keep Writing Me is an interesting title for me to investigate. What's the bet? I Google Keep Writing Me by You're Pretty, and it turns out to be some sort of porn shock video. I can see that the thumbnail for the YouTube video of it is an eggplant, or an whatever you want to call it. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, we're up to the 5th line, and I see what you're talking about. Ew. Oh, God. Is this a joke, or is this a serious song? Or is it meant to be funny? Fan base in the AFL. Good question. What is the best fan base in the AFL? So I'm a little distracted by these lyrics. I'm just going to finish them. Yeah, well, that was unpleasant. I feel inclined not to Google the second song. Best fan base in the AFL. I don't really know. I don't know. I kind of indifferent to them all, but I know what you mean by the question. I don't know. Brisbane fans, they're just non-threatening. It's so far away. Yeah, it's a joke. Okay, good. Thanks. Good. Actually, I gotta say, one thing that I do is me and my roommate play guitar. More so, my roommate in Perth, and we'd sing classic songs and we'd change the lyrics of something horrific, and it would be along those lines. Arguably worse, to be honest. So I can't really judge. I changed the lyrics to what's the song? When You Say Nothing at All by Ronan Keating. I changed it to some horrific scene. And now when I play that song and sing it with guitar, I can only think of the horrific lyrics. Those are the ones that come to mind now, which is worrying. Good thing I never play in public. The other song was a country song. Everyone knows it can't be sus. True. I feel like this is going to be the sort of game where the Heat just pick up consistent wickets and Sydney can't get going. That's the way I see this game going right now. smile in his heart, a man undercover. Me apart. I just realised I think the one that. Oh no. Enriquez 5 off 10. A little bit of a slow start as Walter is in the attack for the first time. That's a good shot. That should reach the boundary. Oh, that's well fielded. Nah, it's gone for 4. And a real lover to me apart. Important boundary there for Enriquez. Breaks the shackles a tiny little bit. Typical KO. I'm 20 seconds behind. I try and move it forward 20 seconds and it just buffers. So now I'm probably further behind. Oh no, I literally am. I'm 30 seconds behind now. Thank you, KO. I've really been negative on the KO brand. I'm probably just hurting their brand at this point. Goodbye, sponsorship opportunity. They do offer a great service. It's just that it seems to be fucking me over every time. Just every time the bowler runs in, it buffers. Or goes to static. Green static. It's not as though I'm watching the free version. Oh, the more I roast them, the worse the stream gets. I think they can hear me. Just picture somebody at like KO headquarters going, talk shit about our brand, huh? See how he likes this. I'm literally gonna have to close it and open it again. Recognize me. See a brief pause in this stream for one moment as my KO is now 0% buffered. I saw a good Star Wars meme the other day that said, fuck, marry, kill. I think Obi-Wan said that to Anakin, and Anakin just goes, Padme. Before he says any names. It's a good meme. Wow, Kaya has really died for me. Anyway. Let's look on Crick Info to see an update of what the score is. Oh, no, it's back now. Sweet. I think it just wants to sit 30 seconds behind. I don't think I can actually do anything about that. 252 off 7.2 is the score I see on Crick Info. The Heat have had 5 bowlers bowl 1 over, with only Neza bowling a second. Now Kuhneman's into a second. That's interesting. Oh man, this is getting hard to watch. If I change tabs, I can hear the audio gets better. And I switch back and nothing happens. Anyway. That's cool. Alright, while it's buffering, I might actually take this opportunity to take a leak. I'll be back, guys. I'm back. What did I miss? One ball, according to KO. That's not true. The over's finished. Oh, it's an evenly poised game. We could be blessed here with a very good final, I think, or at least a very good finish. Imagine the Heat get their hearts broken again. Imagine somebody just does a Cooper Connolly on their butts. Oh, that sounded really sexual. What is wrong with me? Run rate climbing. I presume you mean the required run rate? That was a quiet over, wasn't it? It sounds silly, but I kind of missed all of that over because it was just... Oh, the ads are streaming just fine. So salty. Nah, it's kind of a little bit stanky. That's alright. As long as I don't miss too much. So while that's buffering, for the sake of being transparent, I'm quite pleased to learn that January is set to be my 4th best month ever on YouTube. That is nuts. In fact, it's already the 5th best month I've ever done, and we've got a week to go. And just to be clear, that is not revenue. That is not revenue. That's purely views. Revenue is lagging hard behind. Because in January, there is less advertising money on YouTube. So I've kind of just taken my eye off that a little bit. I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to make a lot of money in Jan. Rogue Ride has contributed a lot to my grocery funds. I appreciate you, Rogue Ride. I do appreciate it. But I have just kind of gotten to this point where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to make much money in Jan. I'm just going to eat a little bit cheaper, if possible. However, I've just focused on growing the channel. And I'm just pleased to see that, like, I could hit 200,000 views in January, and I've only done that 3 times before. I did that in September of 2021, and I did it in October and November of this year. Those are the only 3 other occasions I've hit 200k. So if I can do that in January, that is not a self-praise thing. Why am I talking about this? Because I'm just really hopeful that this means that there is, a good year for the channel ahead. If I can do this in January, like, hopefully I can translate this into the season. That's what I'm thinking a lot about at the moment. So I set the goal of hitting 2 million views this year. I've never done that before. Last year I hit 1.4. So 2 million views is less than 200,000 views a month. But if I do that in Jan, that's a great start. Rogie, he's gifted another membership. You don't have to do this. I shouldn't. Oh, you're the best. J-Dot has been gifted a membership. Rogie, thank you. You don't have to do this, mate. I appreciate you. I wasn't going through my analytics as a plea for support. I'll be okay. But I do really appreciate the support that I get. It's amazing. Far out. Rogie. That's enough. That's enough. But you're a good man. You are a good man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. 9 members, that's cool. So J-Dot, what do you get with a membership? Well, you should see, I'm going to open YouTube in another tab. There should be three videos out now that are members only. And I'll try and keep up that rate. It will fluctuate. Like, there will be weeks, like I said, I have to go down to London soon, where it might just get back to normal. Oh, thanks, Rogie. You're a good man. I appreciate it. Very kind. That is enough, though. These live streams have been amazing. really quiet. Like they do nothing from a YouTube point of view, but because that's because it's cricket. But I have had a lot of fun this summer, and while this will be the last cricket one, they have been fun. I will be doing them throughout the season. Oh, there's 4 members only videos out now. God. Yeah, I'm going to do them more regularly in the season as well. Like, I will do some preseason ones. I might even do like a NAB Cup one. Oh my god, NAB Cup. How old am I? It hasn't been called a NAB Cup for like 20 years. Wow, that was weird that just came to my head. I might even do a preseason one, who knows. But, yeah. Oh, that is very kind. Now do it again. No, that is quite enough. But I do appreciate it at the same time. So that means 9 members. And I think when you hit 9 or hit 8, you can see members get publicly listed or something like that. Who the members are. I forget. I can't see it on the channel at the moment, but that's all right. One year at band camp. Is that an American Pie reference? The movie came out probably before you were born, if it was a reference. Even I was too young for... another wicket. That's how bad the stream, like my KO stream has gotten. I had no idea that they're now 3 for 57. It's just completely stopped. I remember being too young to watch American Pie when it came out. My sisters wouldn't let me. I had 2 sisters much older than me who were kind of like backup parents, so I just really wasn't allowed to do some shit. 4 for 57. Another wicket. Oh, good thing I could see it all and really react to it in real time. So Swepson's gotten Silk out. Stumped. That was the most recent one. And Philippe, I missed that as well. Johnson. God, so they're in the box seat now, the Heat, after a heartbreaking season last year. They should really go on and win this from here. Will Josh Brown be man of the match? I suppose it's a little bit early to call, but probably. I watched American Pie way too young. Yeah. I watched it as an adult. Not because I wasn't allowed until I was an adult. It's just like I missed the window when it came out. So then when I was like 19, I think I was like, should I watch this? And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the original American Pie. This bed is on fire with passion. I said flyer. I'm embarrassed. 10 or 12 is young. That is young to watch American Pie. I don't remember the second one. I remember the first one. I remember the wedding. Is that the third one? And then there was the reunion, which I remember finding funny as well. But the second one, I'm going to Google it because this KO stream has died so hard that I'm just going to find out. I had a big crush on the blondie from American Pie. The one that... Mina Suvari. Did she marry Jim Carrey? I think she did. Or at least dated him. Laughing Magpie's going for the Heat. The AFL should intervene in this match and assist the Sydney Sixers. Yeah, give them a few priority picks. Where are the films? Yeah, I had a thing for Mina Suvari, that's for sure. Looking around wondering where their academy is. Bloody oath. Be cool if the BBL had father-son. You seem to comparatively get a lot less father-sons in cricket. smaller player pool now to think about it. 6 teams. Yeah, that was probably a silly suggestion, but it's true. American Pie 2. Now, this one I do not remember. Now we're getting into the good stuff. I like how it's described on Wikipedia as an American sex comedy. I've never heard of that as a genre. But accurate. Okay. A lake beach house. I vaguely remember this. Yes, I remember this now. However, when Stifler exposes his genitals... that's... yeah, that's right. Oh my god. Silk is not looking very comfortable out there. Very true. This bed is on fire with passion and love. I wonder if I'd watch the American Pie films again. Like, do they hold up now? I feel like comedy's really evolved. They probably are watchable, to be fair. Walter is a mega upgrade to Basley. Don't even remember Basley that well. Who did he play for this year? It's funny, I did all my season previews and like went through the squads and I've just forgotten it. I didn't watch any BBL last year, so I'm coming from way back in that regard. It's funny to look at some of the actors in this American Pie film and they were like not the main cast, but like I'm looking at this woman who looks about 34. Silk reminded me of Peter Moore in the 1981 Grand Final. What? That's obscure. Adelaide Strikers. Yeah, that rings a bell, actually. I would have had a punt and said Adelaide Strikers, but I wouldn't have genuinely remembered. 4 for 60 off 10 is the score on my screen. What is the actual score? 4 for 61, 10.2. G'day, why do I like? Welcome. Who are you going for today? Oh, okay, here's the stumping that I completely missed. Nice. Swepson's bowled pretty well. Like, really kept it tight on the crease. 1 for 8 off 2. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna close my American Pie tabs. Ah, Laughing Magpie's English. Do you have an English accent or is it Australian now? Where exactly is Hampshire? Like, what's in Hampshire? I know it from cricket because I know the counties, but like I don't actually know where it is on the map. I'm gonna look at it. What's in Hampshire? Like, what cities are in Hampshire? Okay, it's opened up a map for me, and I can't really see where it is. Looks like it's pretty south. Like, I've got Southampton there, but I can't actually see what area is Hampshire. Still English. Oh, there you go. I presume that's because your parents have English accents. That would make sense. Why do I like going for Brisbane? Don't watch much cricket. Yeah, fair enough. I'm probably going for Brisbane too. I do use KO Carpe, exactly. AFL is also my bread and butter, mate. As you probably guessed. I do like... Sorry, I've realised I'm sitting way back. I do like AFL quite a lot. Hampshire. I want to be specific about where this is. Images. That will help. No one but Sydney wants Sydney to win. Yeah, true. Oh, Hampshire actually includes Southampton. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, my roommate used to live there. So quite south. Who am I going for? Yeah, I'm going for the Heat as well, man. Yeah. I'm not particularly attached. There's a Sharon. It's quite funny to see a Sharon because I was thinking this is two like rugby states playing cricket against each other, and there's a footy there. That's cool. Petra played cricket growing up. Great game. AFL was a different beast altogether. Yeah, I was also a cricketer more than a footballer for sure. Southampton. There you go. Portsmouth. There you go. There's quite a lot of history there. Ah, there you go. Fair enough. Oh, there you go, Carpe. That sucks. Is there no way around that? I suppose that's a hard one to argue. Like if you call customer support because you're not really meant to watch KO overseas. That's a hard one. If you're, I think watch AFL live or something like that. That's the alternative for people outside of Australia. So when the footy season kicks around, if you're wanting to watch something, that is a good shout. The reason I stick with KO and a VPN is that you get like on the couch and AFL 360. I'll be lying if I say I watch 360, but yeah, you can get a lot more for KO. And on the couch is my favourite, so I watch that where I have time. "24 likes on the stream, guys. Thank you very much. If we can get that to a fat 25, that'd be a quarter century. Why do I like this? I think the first video we watched was who'll be top 10 in 2024. There you go. That video is still one of my best performing videos ever. Where does it rank? It is the second most viewed video ever on my channel, 43,000. It helped that I seem to get a fair few of them right. I really need to do a 2024 version for 2029. Is it really going up to 35 a month? Isn't that like not far off Foxtel? Isn't Foxtel like around 40? That's kind of odd. Power Surge, 4 for 64. You really think this game is... Oh, hang on. The stream is so far behind. It's 5 for 70 on the other screen. Oh my God, I'm going to try it again. "25 likes. We got there. You did it. You did it, kids." AFL Live is just the AFL website. No, I think it might be called Watch AFL or something like that. Not the AFL website. Let me find it. It's perfectly good. It's intended for... Yeah, it's literally watchafl.com.au. The streams were good from memory. I used it when I went to Europe in 2022. I actually grew up watching it because I grew up overseas, so I think it's the same website that I used like 10 years ago, but it's better. More than 10 years ago. Yeah, you don't get like talk shows on it, but it's it fits the bill, man. So if you want to watch AFL, that's what I'd recommend. Is that right, Rogie? That's good advice. Digital membership. That seems really bizarre, but good pickup. KO is still really yanking my nards. Yeah, no worries, man. Take it from me, I'm a seasoned AFL watcher outside of Australia. Mind you, I think there's only basically two big options. You got your KO through a VPN these days. Back in the day, you used to find like dodgy streams. Oh, you know what's another, actually a free one? And I can say this because there's only 14 people in here, and that's fine. VIP box. I think you can watch Premier League on there. But that's how I watched the grand final. Grand final wasn't on KO. So, yeah, VIP box. It won't be as good as a stream, but it does exist. $275 digital membership, eh? What do I pay a month? 25. If that's going up to 35, my God. Yeah, no, that's sizable. That's crazy. KO for the year is 420. My God. Yeah, mine's linked to my credit card, so I don't have the hit like directly. It's just like future me can deal with that. What even is a digital membership? I have to actually find out what that is. I vaguely understand what it is, but I just want to see like it actually laid out. What is it? I still pay for my Eagles membership as well, because you just can't let that go. Cool, mate. Thanks for being here, Rogie. Appreciate you. Take care, man. Oh, I will. I'll see you in the next one. So 5 for 73. They need 94 from 48. This is going to be a bigger challenge with just Davies and Kerr at the crease. There's been a steady decline of wickets. Still think Josh Brown's the man of the match so far. There you go, laughing magpie. Watching any good shows lately? No, you know what, man? Excuse me, all the content, if you want to call it that, I watch at the moment. It's going to sound really boring and really pompous, but I'm only really watching YouTube videos of people making careers on YouTube. That is it. In particular, someone called Think Media. I also discovered an Essendon fan channel that is so good. It's called Absolutely Essendon. Chris Williamson, Tom Bilyeu, Marcus Jones I discovered as well. These are all YouTube channels. But in terms of shows, like I haven't really... I haven't watched anything in like months. That's crazy when I think about it. G'day, Worty. Yeah, I did. Sorry, we were actually talking about that before. I Googled it. I clicked the link, and the link didn't work, so I closed it, and I need to... He stabbed himself with a knife? What? Freak accident, it says. Wow, there's a chance he could die. Okay, so I'm just researching this. Stabbed himself in the stomach, punctured his abdomen. Blade made contact with the gate he was opening and then pierced through the bag. What? He was carrying a bag with a knife in it. Bruh. Holy shit. Yeah, right. That's crazy. Yeah, so essentially for the chat, like it was like in his backyard, opened a gate, for whatever reason had a bag with a knife in it. I don't exactly know how that happened, but the gate pushed the knife into his abdomen, stabbed it so deep that like it punctured his abdomen, and he happened to have a registered nurse walk past or something like that was nearby, and and applied pressure to the wound, and he nearly died. They said there's like the doctor said there's a chance you don't live here. Fuck. Is you? Yeah, right. Is that one where it's a stalker? Why do I like? I've heard of that one. Kind of like crazy John Mayer kind of looking motherfucker. I think that's the show. Oh, God. Yeah, that's Penn Badgley. That's who it is. I've heard it's good. I called him a crazy John Mayer looking motherfucker. What does John Mayer look like again? I think it kind of looks right. Yeah, decent suggestion. I'm happy with that. Petra says Joel Davies is looking very comfortable out there at the moment. Agreed. Oh, this is almost unwatchable at the moment, KO, for me, unfortunately. And when I say almost, I mean it legitimately is unwatchable. Spencer Johnson is actually 3 for 15. Good shot here, actually, for best and fairest. Best on ground, man of the match. If he gets one more, he's probably the pick. At the moment, it's pretty even. Yeah, if there wasn't a nurse nearby that could have died, that would have just been such an awful story to wake up to if he had passed away in that manner. Penn Badgley's acting is real good. Yeah, right. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. Are you talking about magpies? Yeah. That is a very distinctly Australian noise. Spencer Johnson is a gun. Deserves international cap. Interesting. I don't know too much about him. I know that he's a left-arm bowler, but like I don't know like how close he is to Australian selection. He's entered the house, Petra. Wow. That's cute. Is he friendly? Yeah. They are intelligent. 93 or 43. Sydney Sixers starting to look very comfortable. Strain's frustrating me. I'm guessing there's no other way to watch this game. Yeah, it's still 6 for 75 on my screen. 6 for 75. Oh, I think there must have been a 6. Maybe that's why. Yeah, there was. Okay. Wait, I didn't even see that wicket. Dwarsh just got out. Yeah, you can see how much I'm missing of this game. So I could close. Do I get into tennis a lot? No, I don't follow tennis at all, to be honest. I seem to be one of the only few people that does not give a rat's. Almost feel like un-Australian saying that. I know it's a big part of our sporting culture, the tennis, but it's just never done anything for me, if I'm being completely honest. It's not a bad game. I don't mind playing it in small doses. Let me try one of my other trusty websites. Oh, hang on. Seven down. Yeah, it's literally still 6 for 85 on my screen. That's how far behind the stream's gotten. I do have an alternative website here, though. I should have said alternate. Alternative sounds suspicious. Oh my god. You're saying that I didn't need KO this whole time because this is... Holy crap. Oh, mind you, this stream is about 5 minutes behind. But at least it will be like good. Yeah, it's probably like, it's still 6 for 75. He's just hit a 6, but it's actually watchable. So this is going to be weird. So I'm literally going to be like 3 minutes behind you guys. Yeah, I'm 4 deliveries behind you. That's a lot. Magpie cannot understand traffic lights. That's crazy. Wow. Oof. I did not need to pay for KO this entire summer. I got KO again after the footy season ends for the BBL, and this whole time I found it on this other website. YOLO. Which is not the right phrase. I've been too good, the Heat. Absolutely. This whole tournament. Did they lose a game? Did we beat them? I think we might have beaten them. I think we beat them once they beat us. Am I thinking of the right sport? Yeah, they lost one. I think it was to us. But generally speaking, they've been too good. Davies just got out. I'm keeping an eye on the live score, so I'm not like too out of touch with what you guys are seeing. 7 for 87. $79 from 35 is a tall order. Agreed. Pair are looking very comfortable out there at the moment. You know, every time you set that Petro, it seems to actually bring about a wicket. I know it's said in jest, but there has been a wicket pretty much every time. What's the highest you could see West Coast finishing in 24? That's a good question. I'm thinking of doing my ladder prediction with ranges of where teams could finish. I feel like that gives you a better indication of how I rate them. I'd probably have West Coast like 15th to 18th. I can foresee the Eagles being good enough to be a 15th team. The question of who finishes lower than them is another question. I suppose if they can finish 15th, they can finish 14th, but it probably would be hesitant to pick us any higher than like 13th. Even then, we'll know pretty early probably. I should relocate to Brisbane. Yeah, right. Petra says 10th. It's nice to hear some faith. I think a lot comes down to injuries. Like most teams, but particularly us, I think. Laughing Magpie says 15th. You know what? That's a lot more generous than what other people are saying about us. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter what people say because everything will be revealed in like when the season kicks off. And I am cautiously optimistic that we won't win the wooden spoon, but yeah. I still kind of wouldn't mind a top 5 pick. So if you finish like 13th, is that right? No, 14th? Or maybe 15th and North priority pick. Highest possible finish, yeah, fair enough. 16th is the highest they finish in Freo. Interesting. See, I think Freo will finish higher than Richmond. I don't think Fremantle... I don't think Fremantle will be that dire. I'm a little surprised to see why Fremantle's not so rated. To be honest. Not just you guys. I've seen it across the board. Fremantle's considered like a bottom 3 lock. I think they're a bit like St Kilda, where it seems like everyone's just like, yeah, they'll probably drop out of finals. Not me, other people. I think people are sleeping a little bit on St Kilda and Fremantle. Who will finish last then? I'm inclined to think North Melbourne, to be honest. They're still so young. That's basically why. How many seasons before West Coast play finals again is a very interesting question. I'd say... Oh, God. Oh, 3 or 4. To be honest. 3 or 4. 2 seems light. Richmond 13th or 14th, yeah, fair enough. They do have some quality, but like some of their quality is injured, like Tom Lynch. And then I think, yeah, I don't know. You're right, they do have some quality. Petra says the Eagles at 10th, just behind the Pies on 9th. Oh, I get you. I reckon the Eagles and North will improve this year on wins, but it's hard to see any other sides regressing. Yeah, so that's the thing. North and West Coast were so far behind everyone else. Like 3 wins behind third last, but... North just lost Cherry, did they? Is he a big loss? 8 for 94. Oh, get off Bing, seriously. Why does this always happen to me? Why is Clarkson allowed to coach? Honestly, I kind of kept my head a little bit out of that until we got an outcome, but isn't that kind of more or less dropped? Like, or at least there wasn't a clear resolution of somebody who was at fault. So that's kind of your answer. Because I don't know if he got necessarily pinged with anything. If I'm understanding the situation correctly. Who rucks for them? Did Comben do some ruck last year? Let me get my... I have a spreadsheet here. Maybe. Oh, I might have deleted the North one. I finished that video. Let me... I'm trying to remember who their rucks are. I've done so many teams. I want to say that Comben did some rucking last year, though. I could be wrong. Finbar Maley kid is a... Oh, Common Jones. Yeah. More of a forward, but highlighted do some rucking. Yeah, see... I just look at some of these positions for North Melbourne, and I look at their defence, and now their ruck, which I've just learned then. Facial surgery? I don't think he's going to be out for too long. He's having facial surgery so he can run, and they're unsure of how long he'll be out for. I'd actually forgotten that Cherry didn't play for like 4 months last year. Yeah, I think there's vulnerabilities with this North side, let alone the lack of experience. So, very serious allegations were made against the Hawks and its administration. If it occurred in any other industry, there'd be litigation. Yeah, I sure. It's just that I think, like, I don't know, like, what came of the investigation, right? It was being investigated, as far as I understand. No litigation, though, as far as I'm aware. I don't know. As somebody who's not part of the situation, obviously, I can only rely on the outcome of what the investigation was. And my understanding is the investigation still ongoing. I suppose what it is that if he's not been found guilty or whatever, then we want to avoid a scenario where someone who's potentially innocent doesn't lose their job. Just thinking of it from a broad context, I don't have any particular opinion about whether Clarkson's innocent or not. Laughing Magpie says McInnes to replace McStay, even over Johnson. Oh, Darcy then also says McInnes over Johnson. A lot of my comments that I receive are about Ash Johnson, and there's a lot of love for him. I'm a little bit ignorant about, how good he actually is. I've seen him play, but that's about it. Murphy with the back foot defence. Interesting strategy, Carlton. It works harder both ways than Johnson. Fair enough. That'll be a factor. But I was going to say, he'll be in the side mostly as a target, but like if he kicked, 30 odd goals last year? In the VFL, that is. It's a pretty good season. This game is more or less a foregone conclusion at this point. 71 off 27. Johnson tends to go missing sometimes. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see, with all the Collingwood optimism about Johnson, I'm intrigued to see how that actually works out. Was Reef, I think, from the outside looking in, I would have thought would be the one, but I'd be lying if I said I have a strong opinion. Very much a Jake Stringer, X Factor, and notoriously lazy. Interesting. Kuhneman's bowled well. It's up to Abbott and Murphy. God, that is not something you want to be saying at this point of the game. Okay, the 3 bottles of water have gotten to me. I'm going to go for one final leak before this game finishes up. McInnes got 3 votes from Pendlebury the other day in The Sims. Yeah, right. Where was he playing? As a forward or as a... Because he can play a bit of mid, right? I seem to remember him as more of a utility than a genuine tall. 8 for 106. I'm literally an over behind now. 20 runs per over, is that right? Yeah. It is too. Imagine they got Cooper Connolly again. Sean Abbott can hit, to be fair. But it would be very unlikely. When was the last time the Heat won the BBL? Find out. Forgive me if that was hurtful on your ears. Oh, the Brisbane Heat, have they ever won it? Oh yeah, have they won this? Oh, in the second season they beat us. I vaguely remember that. Abbott 6, nice. That was very audible. Was it? Was it actually loud? Sorry. Knocked over the microphone. I thought I caught it. Ooh, 2 likes short of 30, guys. Any assistance you could offer in this space would be greatly appreciated. Flaggers 2024, eh? Maybe. Has Nisa taken a miraculous catch? See, I'm an over behind. I'm not going to say that for like 10 minutes. Oh, no, that's not true. Sorry, no, I've caught up a little bit. I'm only 2 balls behind you. Story of my love life. No one makes me laugh like me. Hey, we got to 30 likes. Thank you, guys, for those who did that. So what's happened here? What's the outcome of that catch? I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm still behind you. It is given out. Interesting. I'm keen to see this catch. So first I have to watch this 6 shot. What a shock. So just for a brief moment there, I thought maybe Sean Abbott can get us close. Then the very next ball, great catch. Petra, I feel like you told us this. Who do you go for? I'm sure it's come up before. I've just forgotten. Here we go. This is the Nisa catch. Oh, he's done well. One more wicket until footy season. I wish it was that simple, but yes. One more wicket until I stop making cricket content. I gave it a crack. That was a great catch. Just when Abbott was looking comfortable with the big six. Also story of my love life. Hey, someone unliked. We're back to 29. Must have been my joke. Oh, that's it. Very next ball. Steve O'Keefe gets a golden duck to finish his career. I'm going to wait till see it comes up. Sam Ryan needed a Bartlett wicket to win his multi. There you go. Well done. Congrats, Sam. Season is taking way too long to start. Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, I think the Eagles' last game was against Adelaide. That was like August. That is a long time ago, eh? Long time. We have to go a long time without sport in the footy, like a long time without games. Compared to like Premier League. Good point, Ben. Yeah, they did. They dropped Brown. They dropped Brown pretty early. You're right. I don't know what his exact score was. Yeah, Neeser's done a great job. That is inches away from... I'm still like 5 minutes behind the end of the game. Like, I'm still watching the Neeser replays. It's only just been given out. Oh, Petra's a Blues fan since 68. There you go. Wow. Oh, yeah, you've seen some good times there. How many premierships have you seen then, Petra, without knowing how many they've won since then? I don't know the list of all the Carlton premierships. There'd be some in the 70s, I would have thought. I know they won in 95. They might have pinched one in the 80s. I feel like Hawthorn won 5 in the 80s, didn't they? Who else won in the 80s? Did Essendon win one in the 80s? Swans fan since 69, eh? That must have been one incredible chick. Really convince you to get on the Swans. Here we go. Steve O'Keefe is out. And that is it. The Heat are champions. Congrats to them. It's in Sydney too, eh? Anticlimactic for them. But that's pretty cool. They won the BBL. Good on them. 8 premierships, eh? That's incredible. That is a lot. Bombers went back-to-back versus the Hawks, 84-85. Okay, there you go. So Hawthorn did they lose 2 grand finals as well as win 5? That's fucked up. That is crazy. Well, there we go, guys. That is probably a wrap on the final cricket live stream of the season. It's been fun. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been quiet, but also like good people in the chat. So I appreciate you all. Obviously, we're still going to be making lots of videos, but in terms of live streams, yeah, I'll probably do one around the time of the preseason, probably a week or 2 away. Yeah, maybe just before the preseason games start is probably when I'll do out. So probably call it there. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye, Pookie Bear, indeed. Word he's witnessed 4 finals wins. Nice. Did the Blues win 4 premierships in the 80s? That math doesn't add up, does it? Because I thought Hawthorn won 5 premierships in the 80s. So if Essendon won 2, how did the Blues win 4? Okay. Does that mean there was only 3 premiership teams in the 80s? That's actually crazy. Wow. But anyway, see you guys. Thank you very much for being here. See you, Darth Jar Jar. You're a legend too. I appreciate you all. And I will see you when I see you. In terms of live streams, like I said, week or 2 away. Otherwise, you'll probably see a new video tomorrow. So take care, everyone, and I'll catch you later.